Everybody. Oh, I've already seen one of the first questions. What has Skiwi done now? Well, I wouldn't say it's exactly what he's done. It's continuing on the whole, we are proving more that he continued to scam and lie to his viewers is what the news is. But let's get out of this kind of loud area here. It's got a little neighborhood dog barking. But I hope you guys noticed something right away. Check out that smooth action, huh? No more bouncing up and down. I'll tell you what, Savage Dabs, you want to know where I got that name from? In one of my thumbnails, or excuse me, I guess the title of one of my videos was like something like skis, mods, or jumping ship or something like that. And it was when one of his mods, or some of them, were leaving or threatening to leave. And for the thumbnail, I found a really cool picture. It was like shows like a sinking ship, you know, like one of those big old cruise ships or whatever. And it's got these rats jumping out of the ship, you know, essentially because they're going to drown. So on the side of the ship, it had a little boat name. And instead of just you leaving that boat name, I decided to call it the SS Skiwi. So the SS Skiwi is where the Skiwi nickname originated from, just FYI. All right. NJ, can we call ski clearance for just an hour? Former Shady, absolutely. I'd still love for you to give me a little background about the whole clearance name, but I will try my best. Of course, I can't promise because, you know, it's... obviously, when I say Skimask for about the last 6-7 months all the time, it is a little bit hard to change up the name. But sure, we can definitely call Skiwi clearance every once in a while. All right, so let's go up the chat here. Excuse me, so rude. Let me say hi to everybody. And I am still kind of getting used to the gimbal, so I appreciate everybody's patience with it. But so far, I think I got... Obviously, the gimbal does the work for itself, but yeah, there's all these cool little features on here that, you know, I'd like to try at some point. But, you know, I'm just trying to get used to holding this thing and getting used to how it moves and stuff. So hopefully you're noticing a much, much smoother action type of shot here. Stinky Pinky, as always, you are not banned. I can see you loud and clear. Anyways, all right, so I see Snert in the chat. I got Stinky Pinky, Savage Dabs, Crisscross Applesauce, Jenny O, welcome. Freedom Believer, absolutely. Hey, I think last time we left, we were just $100 short for and if I believe you're referring to the Control of Court coverage fundraiser. So we are just about, not even just about, we were at $100 short of meeting that goal from last night's stream. So, hey, any donations are much appreciated. And again, any donations received will be going towards that fundraiser. So thank you for asking and bringing that up for me, Crisscross Applesauce. Okay, let's see here. Or I'm sorry, not Crisscross, Freedom Believer. Excuse me. I apologize. Thank you for bringing that up, Freedom Believer. And I appreciate your support last night. Much appreciated. All right, what's up, Slick X? I got Hippie Music Girl. Hey, hey. KK's Company, good morning to you as well. All right, let me go up here. Going up. White Sammy Sosa, good morning. Snert, good morning as always. Cameron, the Skitanic. I love it. All right. Said hi to Farmer Shady with the clearance request. What up, WAP99? All right. Big Rat, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Mr. NJCourts. I appreciate that, Big Rat. I love the introduction. All right. I think that starts from the top, working my way down to the bottom. All right. And I got a effing low key. Hey, how's the new little gadget for your phone? So far, it's working great. I'll let you guys kind of check it out. But it's pretty cool. It's got this thing called Active Track, which I don't have it set on right now. But if I did, I could literally have it where it'll just follow the pooches in front of me automatically. But it's pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of got like an automatic mode where it just does its own thing. But if you want to put it into manual drive, as they say, It's got like a freaking joystick. I mean, this thing looks almost like out of a fighter pilot, you know, plane, you know. It's got a joystick. It's even got like a trigger button, you know, and it's pretty cool. Definitely, like I said, you kind of got to just get used to the way the gimbal reacts, but I think I'm getting it all right. I'll show you guys. Once we get to the park here, I'll show you, like, you know, you got to remember that it's not going to react super quick, but the gimbal, the camera, you got to remember, has a wide lens. So that's what's cool about it. The wide lens works with the gimbal. So even though I'm spinning around fast, the gimbal's not spinning around quick, but it works with the wide lens. See? And see how smooth that is? I mean, we're not even seeing any jumping around. And see, right now, it's still catching up. It hasn't turned. All right. Hey, it looks like we've got a new subscriber. So welcome, new subscriber. Or that could have been, again, I'm so sorry. Remember, folks, I am on the prison app right now. So it's not the best for reading chat. And actually, hold on. Was it Prism? Oh, no. That was going to be StreamYards was going to start highlighting and doing a better job of showing the super chats and stickers. But I think right now what I'm seeing or what you're hearing are either subscribers or possibly new members of the jury. So if you are new members of the jury, welcome. And if you're subscribers, welcome as always. But I do have, as you can see, let me get the gimbal here looking. I do have my speaker on. Oops, let me turn it back on. Hold on, Rio. Let's stop for a second.
Power on.
All right, there we go. Power's back on. But TTS is on for some of y'all that are familiar with that, or some of you that may not. If you want to say something through the speaker, that's why you're hearing that, is the same program, I guess, also alerts me when I have new subscribers or new members of the jury. So, but sometimes you may hear a message and see that up on the screen and hear it through the speaker. For some of you that are not familiar with that, that's what TTS is, through donation alerts, which is the website or the link that you would select if you want to donate through there and have a message holler out at the speaker, as they say. All right, we're getting to the park here. So it looks like, okay, cool, thank you. And I appreciate everybody in the chat letting me know. So that's exactly what happened right there. Thank you so much, Freedom. Looks like Freedom gifted 5 memberships, and I much appreciate that. So yeah, that's cool. That's exactly what that was. So thank you so much, Freedom Believer. So welcome, 5 new members of the jury, and thank you so much, Freedom Believer, for donating those 5 new memberships. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Scummy. Good morning, Stick 2. I'm still kind of confused about the whole stick thing, but hey, welcome. Stick 1, 2, and 3. Hey, good morning, love. So yeah, we're just kind of testing out the gimbal this morning. I just wanted to say hi to everybody right now. As you saw in the thumbnail, there was no dono baiting. I do have some, I would say it's fairly important news in relation to the Skimask court coverage. As a matter of fact, it has a lot to do with the ongoing kind of, I would say, yeah, I think we already kind of nailed what happened, but for some of the naysayers still out there, I think what we're going to be going over and talking about today, and as a matter of fact, what's even available as a, public record that any of you can check out right now, I think this is going to definitely close the whole subject of whether Skimask did or did not scam his donators into sending him thousands of dollars for bond money, which, 1, he never even used for the bond, and 2, we're going to actually, I mean, and this is unfortunate, and I want your guys' opinion, but we're also going to be possibly, I think, figuring out the mistake that happened between the court and the prison and why he was released on just a $500 bond. Because, see, a lot of people were still confused about that. Because if you remember, at the court hearing, there was a little confusion already when they were discussing, his bond hearing, when there was a discussion between the judge, Skimask, and the public defender, kind of just representing all the prisoners there. I guess the either judge didn't notice or just didn't have it up in front of them, But the public defender had the correct paperwork, which also had the second charge that Skimask picked up that I don't know if even up to today he's still refuting. And obviously it's on the oscn.net website and on his public record that he is being charged for the obstructing of an officer. And that came with another $500 bond, which is what the public defender reminded the judge about. So essentially, and if you remember this, we were watching this together live, the total amount was $1,000. Essentially, that was what needed to be paid from the bonds company, or didn't even pay one. He was actually bonded out on just one $500 bond. So that's the mistake that the court made, I guess, essentially in communicating with the prison. And you're going to see that in this paperwork that I'm going to discuss. Obviously, I can't show you the paperwork on Prism, but I'm going to tell you where you can look it up, and you can see it for yourself this morning. Way to go, Rio, marking that spot. But we're just going to walk around the park while I go over this news. But long story short, there must have been a miscommunication between, like I said, the court and the prison, whatever. But Skimask was just bonded out on a $500 bond, not $1,000 total. And what happened, and we went over the bond paperwork, which is also available through that website so that you can see yourself. We found out, and Skimask actually confirmed this through the interview, that it was a self-indemnity bond, or indemnity. Yeah, I said that right. Indemnity, it could be indemnity or indemnity. I apologize. Which Skimask, hey, gave us the same definition of what I told you guys, which just clearly means he bonded himself out. Simple as that. And the question was, well, how did that happen? Well, we went over that, which was a few different ways. The bonds person, and I actually spoke to him personally, is the one that gave me this information, as well as verify that the bond was a self-indemnity or identity. You get what I'm saying. Excuse me, I have a tongue twister today. Indemnity bond. And when I asked him, well, how does somebody calls in essentially with their banking information? And we had a few different, kind of, I guess you could say, ways we figured that happened. But I think one way that we kind of pinned down that made sense was the fact that because he had time between the first time the police tried to arrest him and the second time around when they came with the warrant and busted down his door, that he had time to know if he was going to jail, he had to call somebody and give them either, his banking information, PayPal info, or not PayPal is Cash App info, or simply just gave his mom one of his banking cards, and had the mom call. So that's still a mystery as to who called in with that information. But what's obvious and what's on the paperwork is he did bond himself out. And the other thing that's obvious and on the receipt is the fact that only $100, which was 20% of $500, was paid. So there was no $1,200 or whatever the number was that he said or made up to his chat or viewers that supposedly they sent to him. They sent it to him, however it was, probably through Cash App seems to be the only way hold on, sticker alert, that he receives donations. Hold on, Rio, let me see is it this one? Give me 1 second, guys. Just get this sticker up. I think it's got to be the other part. Let me see, Rio, up. All right, you're good, my friend. So that's obvious in what's on the bond paperwork. So is the receipt for the $100. Now, what I'm going to go over today is there was new paperwork that was actually, or I guess you could say, what do they call it? The court network notes, or excuse me, docket notes. There you go. There was a few more docket notes that were added over the last few days, okay? In the screenshot of the thumbnail that I have for this live stream, that was actually the most updated. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but that was exactly what I screenshotted there, was the latest of those notes. Now, I will summarize one of those notes. And again, I'm not going to be using the exact terminology that's on the note, but I can give you an easy peasy summary of it. Pretty much it said that, hey, we just found out that, oopsie, just as what's his name says, there was no bond, stuck for the other charge, the obstruction of an officer, and obviously it's too late to pay for it. So they just went ahead and applied the paperwork that he signed for the bond, the $500 bond for breaking the probation, they just went in, and it shows you, it says they applied it from case number this to the new case number, which is for the obstruction of an officer. So essentially, it's just them covering their asses saying, hey, you know, this person is out on bond on this other, you know, charge. But the incorrect thing, or the mistake here, was obviously that was supposed to be a total of $1,000. So technically, he should have paid, you know, another $100 to get out, okay? I'm sure that wouldn't have been difficult, or I'm not saying that would have, you know, that's the make it or break it of what would have kept them in jail. But, you know, technically, there was an error made, and they caught it. And you know, hey, maybe I'm incorrect, okay? But I'd love for you guys to read it and tell me the next time we have a live stream, you know, what you think. But I'm pretty sure you're going to agree with what I just said. Also, you're going to see where it allows you to download the bond information, which if you do, it's just going to be the same bond receipt and bond information, just like it said in the note, for the original bond of the $500, which was for breaking the probation. We already went over that bond information. So nothing new, because there isn't any new bond information. That was it. Total of $500 was paid to the court by the bonds company, and they charged Skimask Andy $100. That's it. All right. So this just confirms what we've already been discussing, which is the fact that he scammed his viewers and scammed them of a lot of money. Because don't forget, remember, he smell is what it is. But prior to his arrest, come on, Dobbs, let's go. He knew the warrant was out for what? Probably almost a month before they arrested him. Okay. And during that time, not even during that time, I believe it was the day of, he found out that that warrant went out. He raised and fundraised almost, like they said, between $600 to $800. I've even heard more from his viewers. And that was supposedly to go to if he got put in jail to get him out. And guess what happened? In about a couple of days later, he was already begging for more money. Essentially, what happened to that $500? Well, we already know. He denies it, but we know that it was obviously, you know, burnt into some type of smoke. But yeah, I mean, this guy with that first bond scam and then scamming his viewers again, or, you know, I don't even say viewers at this point, just down to the last probably handful of these ski angels that I'm sure are fronting this guy, not even fronting because he's not paying them back, you know, hundreds, if not even thousands of dollars at this point. And I know they know they're getting scammed. It's obvious. I mean, it doesn't take a very intelligent person to just go onto that website and see exactly between the two notes from the first time he got bonded out to the second note that explains, you know, what happened. And the fact that you can download and look at the fucking receipt that the bond company got, that Skimask got, and that the court got. You can clearly see exactly that he scammed these people. So obviously they're not going to say anything through the chat, right? They don't want to get doxxed. They don't want their little nudies getting posted by Skimask. So they're going to keep their mouth shut as long as they can, knowing they got scammed. But here's what's happening now, okay? If you've noticed, the cash apps have dried up, all right? And it's the same donators still in there, all right? What's happening now is although they're in there and chatting and still putting the little hearts up and little, you know, we love you skis, they ain't giving them no cash apps. And if they are, it might be $1 here or there, but the whole, hey, you know, here's $50, $100, hey, here's to go get a, you know, loan for your fixing your car, those days are over. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Skiwi's down to, you know, his last couple of maybe $1 a week donators. He's looking for some type of new content. He's pretty much burned himself out through all these new communities that he was able to just fucking leech his way onto. And, you know, with all the exposure that he's received from, you know, all the different creators in this channel of, you know, him being a real criminal and a scammer, it's starting to you know, affect them, and it's affecting them financially. And I don't even say financially because the guy doesn't pay any fucking bills. All it's doing is just making it harder for him to find weed. That's it. So anyways, I apologize. I was just kind of going off on that story there and walking around in some circles. We'll continue our walk now and get some better scenery for you guys. It is starting to warm up, so I can't promise too long of a walk. I do have a water bottle. I have, you know, obviously they're foldable water bowls, so we'll take a water break here soon. But obviously, you know, I don't want them out in the sun too long. But yeah, I wanted to break that news for you. I also obviously wanted to play around with the gimbal. This is not considered the special IRL that I promised you guys. So I wanted to get some practice with this gimbal before I did something fun with the gimbal as far as like a real IRL stream. You know, this is just part of our, you know, weekend walking talks that we do. So, but what's cool now is we got the gimbal. So it makes it a lot nicer. But I'll tell you what, when I'm doing like a super cool IRL, maybe we're doing something where it's involving going upstairs and all this shit, you're going to notice how smooth, you know, this gimbal really makes the difference, you know, with the camera and all that. So again, I want to thank Super Roofer and everybody else that donated to the gimbal fundraiser, because I as much as I don't notice it, I know it was much needed, especially since we're doing a lot more of the IRL streams. And you know, I've seen a few of them. I know it sucks when you're just seeing the camera bouncing up and down, and it does make it uncomfortable sometimes for people that can get sick. So I much appreciate it. So thank you guys, and I hope the gimbal is working. I mean, and don't remember, there's still going to be a little bounce. It's not going to be perfect. It's not a $10,000 professional Kodak piece of equipment, but it is a nice gimbal. It's a DG brand, which is a really cool, good brand. They do. I know that I'm familiar with some of their products when it comes to the. My gosh, I've got a brain fart right now. Drones, excuse me, you know, especially drones that are, you know, have the really nice cameras and that are meant to record, not necessarily just for, you know, flying around for hobby flyers and stuff. But yeah, no, so it's still going to have a little bit of bounce. But, and also remember, I've got these leashes, although they're on the other hand, the dogs are obviously yanking me a lot. So I hope it does help a lot. All right, Stick, we are going to buffer a bit. I'm going to be going into an area where it might buffer, but we are going to be going on the same route that we always have, so hopefully it fixes itself. Exactly, Cameron. Yep, only a few crazies left now on the Skitanic. Yeah, and I will agree with you. They are at this point. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and they don't know much about what I do in this community and, you know, all the stuff on YouTube, but they've got a little idea. And man, when I was telling them about, you know, Skimask, they've probably heard me discussing him for about a good couple of weeks now, and you know, about, you know, the people that are supporting this type of guy, you know, essentially a wanted criminal that's pretty much just wanted for assaults on women and females and family members. You know, it's a really big POS. And they're just, the thing they said, and what's funny is not even without having to talk to him a lot about the whole subject and, you know, what type of people are in his chat, my friend agreed and right away said, only people I can see that even would support a person like that at this point, or even find that person entertaining or like it, are just, they got to be as sick and vile as that individual. And what have we said before? That's exactly right. I mean, at this point, with all the exposure that we've put, all the criminal records that are available for all these people to access, and I know they've watched plenty of the lives from the back, and I know they've heard and seen me, and even Skimask. They don't even have to watch my lives. They can just catch the replay on Skimask's fucking live stream, and I'm sure they've heard about all the aggravated assaults, and they're aware of most of his, you know, newest part of the criminal record, like the newest charge, which was the assault on his brother and mother, you know. They're aware of the picture that's around on the internet, which is the post-operation picture of his mother from her shoulder, where that was broken in 3 different places. And that is officially on public paperwork. That is from an incident, or excuse me, police summary report. So let's see here. Shell97 says, Ski is just mad at subs that are left don't have money to send him, although he is always getting packages of Jordan and clothes. Yeah. And that's pretty interesting too. I don't know if it's the same, and I don't care if it's the same individual sending him that, but I've had a lot of people give me some pretty interesting theories about the whole package thing, and I'm not going to go into it because, some of them I think are a little far out. Some of them I'm like, yeah, I believe it. But, there's still allegations at this point, and frankly, it's nothing important, right? Just a bunch of, high marked label stuff on the tags, but very well that shit was like on a 80%, 75% clearance rack, assuming it was purchased. That's assuming if it was purchased, if you know what I mean. All right, let's see here. I like watching the fools fail, and I donate to streamers I feel deserve it. Never sent to Skidmark. Well, I agree with you on that. I personally, like to support streamers that do like actual IRL. That's where I got off enjoying a lot of the communities that I like to watch and stuff, was watching actual real IRL and back in the good old IRL streamer days. But yeah, I definitely am not a fan of, supporting people that pretty much are just what we call e-beggars, simply aren't even putting any type of content or, remember, this is YouTube, okay? Essentially, people come on here to watch a form of entertainment. And these people are not doing that. They're not putting content entertainment out. They're just using it as a way, as a platform that they can, if they're lucky, they can access hundreds, thousands. Sometimes it just takes a handful of people. Look at Skimask right now. And they're able to scam individuals, we've heard a lot of the people that come up on Skimask's panel. I don't have to get into them each individually, but a lot of those people obviously sound like they've got some pretty serious things going on, and for whatever reason, they find some type of comfort in him, and it's really fucked up. And I know what he does. We all have an idea of what he does behind the scenes. He's obviously texting these individuals, and probably, faking some type of relationship with them. And I'm sure there's a lot of fighting that goes on in the background amongst these ski angels. And I'm sure he probably used it as like a bidding war, right? Hey, the highest ski angel that pays me the most is going to be the one that, gets that daily text that says, I love you, or a little mushroom pick every once in a while. So that's it. But you're right. These drain these last few individuals. These last handful of people have literally had to come up with thousands of dollars, which I don't think they had readily available. And they're drained. As much as they probably want to send him some cash apps, they probably can't. And you know what? I hope they start realizing, for their own sake, and especially if they have families, that they stop this shit, all right? Especially if they've got families. Are you kidding me? You're out supporting this scumbag and what he does and the threats he makes to children and families, even, what he's done to his own family. And you've got individuals that, I just tucked in my son and my daughter, ski, just watching you right now on the big screen. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That shit disgusts me when I hear that. And the fact that they're, using either their money, family's money, whatever, I don't care, technically is their money, but they're supporting this individual instead of, hey, if you're going to just burn money in the air, you might as well fucking burn it in your own fireplace and keep your family warm. Just saying. Yeah, the Queen K. Yeah, there's something else going on between those two. I frankly don't give a shit, but I'm sure you guys could figure it out. And golly, do you imagine the nasty pictures that get sent between those two? Blech. What's up, Dave? Good morning. They watch him abuse. Yeah, you know what's fucked up about that, Dave? I'm glad you brought that up, as a matter of fact, okay? And yeah, I have my fun, making fun of her a bit, but you know what? I have my right, because Kelly has pretty much said a lot of bad shit about this channel and myself. And even the stuff, when I'm joking around about her, I don't even say anything bad. I just imitate and do a little cheesy impersonation of her. That's it. I'm not the one in Ski's chat saying, yeah, I'll finance you if you want to go and do something to his family or this and that, all that bullshit. But right now, it's fucked up what they're doing to that lady. They're pretty much moving her up in line as the replacement for Michelle, okay? Have you noticed how many more times she's came up? You know, Ski's playing that whole I love you, then I hate you, you know, mod you, then I unmod you game with her. And he clearly knows that she has some issues going on, and he's a sick fuck for what he's doing, taking advantage of this lady, you know? I mean, to the point where I don't even know how serious it's gonna get, and I doubt it's gonna happen, but, you know, maybe in Kelly's eyes, she's really thinking it will, is this whole thing between the communication, supposedly that, you know, she's trying to finance his trip, pretty much to stay with her, okay? I mean, get the fuck out of here. I mean, even if that could happen, we know that guy couldn't even last one fucking day or night with somebody else other than himself, okay? That's why he's pinned up in that little fucking sad, pathetic dungeon of his. That's what I don't get. I mean, bro, if you're gonna just be spending the rest of your fucking life, which I'm sure you've already spent over half of it almost in that room, you might as well just get this fucking prison shit over with. I mean, and I'm not even fucking around. That literally is the only thing right now keeping you from even trying to change your life, okay? And we've talked about this before. Don't forget, when we're talking about rehabilitation for this guy, you're talking years, almost maybe a decade. But the only way it's even going to start is he needs to get, you know, his prison and court shit over with and behind him. He needs to, you know, pretty much turn himself in every state he's got a fucking warrant for. Start with the state of Oklahoma like he should have, and now look at where he's dragged himself into. Simply just because he couldn't go to a fucking probation and anger management class and pay $25 a month for the next 40 fucking years. All right, so the guy is literally going to be running from his own demons for the rest of his life until he gets that shit over with. And I just don't understand. If he's not working, he doesn't obviously care about his family. He doesn't take care of them. He doesn't even take care of his own daughter. Doesn't obviously have said plenty of times that, you know, and I'm confused. One day it's his daughter, one day it's not. But either way, at this point, it doesn't matter. We obviously know that he has taken no interest in, you know, caring one bit about this individual, okay? And it's sad. It really is fucked up, all right? So this guy has nothing going for him at this point, except just smoking his little blunts and chit-chatting with a bunch of, you know, and I'm not going to say it, and just trying to scam enough money to, you know, pay for his weed addiction and whatever else he's on, all right? And it's like, dude, if that's what you're going to continue to do in that sad, tiny little prison of yours, you might as well just get your other shit over with, man. Jeez Louise. And I'm sorry, again, I was kind of paying attention to the road, so I know sometimes when the mods DM me, it's because I either, oh yeah, I see it here. I'm so sorry for that. It looks like I did miss. Okay. All right. So we need to cross the street eventually. Hold on. We're going to do it here, guys. 1 second. Actually, it looks like this van's being pretty cool. So let's go now. Delusional narcissist surrounded by yes men. Absolutely. That's what's really hurting him now because, you know, there's nobody telling him, including his own family, unfortunately. And I know his brothers, you know, cares. And if I'm not mistaken, it was revealed by the brother that he was the one that actually recommended the anger management classes. So I'm sure the brother cares, but, you know, as far as everybody else in his family, I'm not too sure. And, you know, they don't care. They don't obviously discipline him. They welcomed him with open arms, essentially, right when he got out of jail. I mean, literally had their door busted down to fucking not even 24 hours prior. And there he is back, you know, back in the room, back with Wi-Fi on, some fucking Doritos in hand and an energy drink, you know, like nothing ever happened. So, but yeah, with no authority telling him, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Having these people that he surrounds himself with saying, oh yeah, no, for sure, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. You punched a girl in her face. Oh, that's fucking cool. You like to assault fucking, in his own words, what was it? Incapacitated, female neighbors. You know what I mean? When he makes all those fucking disgusting threats towards any people, you know, whether his old mods, other creators, myself, fucking animals, children. you've got a whole group of other people right behind him going, yeah, 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 like a cheerleading squad. And that's what's sick. Remember, I told you guys what's really fucking gross and why I like to expose these people is these are actually people that could possibly be out in real life, you know, be fucking a teacher. They could be a fucking, you know, sitting next to you at Mickey D's. I mean, it's just crazy, man. And it's sad that there's individuals actually out there that, you know, one, have fucking children, and two, that support a guy like this. I mean, could you imagine if you support an individual like Skimask? I mean, downright to where you're like, if he says jump, you jump type of support. That, how do you think those people are raising their children at home? Okay? I mean, come on now. Hey, good morning, sunshine, rain. Yes, they are beautiful pups. They are my babies. They're everything. They mean everything to me. And for some of you that are just joining the walk and talk, how rude. This little one here, which is a Chihuahua mix, they're both rescues. That is Dobie, a.k.a. Dobster, a.k.a. what else do I mean, he's got so many nicknames. And then right over here is going to be Mr. Rio in the house. Rio is another rescue of mine. He is a lab mix. Rio in Spanish, or excuse me, Rio is a Spanish word, but in English means water, or not water, I apologize, river. So essentially, if you wanted to call him his English version of name, it would be River, but he goes by Rio. What's up, Sumi? Good morning. Maybe good afternoon for some of y'all, maybe good evening, good night for some of y'all. So thanks for joining the walk and talk. Pretty much this morning we were just going to go over the new news, or like I said, I call it news because of, you know, the type of channel we are. But essentially it was more, oh, Dobby saw a cat, excuse me. Watch, you'll see, I don't know if you see it running. Oh no, it's already out there. Dobby, calm down. Shh. He is a cat. He just goes after anything that's small, and not in a mean, aggressive way. He just wants to either play with it or see what the hell it is. But yeah, cats and rabbits, oh man, he goes nuts. But anyways, yeah, we were just going over kind of pretty much updating some further news that came out through a website that we on this channel, and I know a lot of you, the viewers, utilized, but pretty much it's one of the websites this channel uses to pretty much audit Skimask Andy, because it is from the state of Oklahoma where he does currently reside. It is a state where he's received the majority, if not all, of his charges, including felonies, misdemeanors, aggravated assaults on females, family members, and not to mention this individual also has currently, active warrants in 3 other states, including, New Jersey, including the state of Nevada, including the state of California. Okay, so they're definitely a bad apple, but if you just want to follow what they've done in Oklahoma, you can access that through the Oklahoma State Court Networks, which is oscn.net. That's going to take you to their main website. Once you get to the main website, just look towards the top. You'll see a tab that says like court records or public records, court case search. Just click on that and just follow the links. Eventually you're going to get to a page where it'll just ask you to put in a first and last name. You just hit search, and it will show you exactly every county in Tulsa that individual's got a case in. For the example, or in Rio, hey, leave that bush, please. In Skimask Andy's case, right now you'll see cases active in Wagner County and in Tulsa County. If you scroll down to the bottom when you're in Tulsa County, all the way to the bottom, you're going to see the latest charge, which was for the obstruction of an officer. Obstructing an officer. That now has its own case number. It does not have its own date yet. As a matter of fact, based on the note that we read, it just seems like it verifies what I was thinking and what Skimask had told us, which is essentially they're going to hear both cases the same date, which they're hearing, having his, hearing for breaking his probation, which was June 20th, okay? It was June 20-something. If it's 21st, 22nd, I'm sorry, but I believe it was the 20th. But again, and you can find all that information through that website. But where I was going with that, for some of the new viewers just jumping on now, is we went over a new note that was posted, essentially a new docket note on the docket, court docket, as you can say. And on that note, it discusses the transfer of a bond that was already paid for, which was a $500 bond, which in Skimask's case, he only had to come up with $100. Was transferred over essentially to cover the other charge, which was for the obstruction of an officer. Essentially, they were supposed to have two individual bonds, each one for $500, totaling $1,000. But it looks like there must have been a miscommunication between the court and the jail, because there was even a miscommunication from the start during the bond hearing about the whole, bond amounts and everything. So it must have still gone through or not got fixed, because apparently they let him out on just $100 being paid to the bondsman. Whoops, sorry about the gimbal getting crazy. All right, looks like they've cleared the road. Thank you, guys. So, yeah, for some of you just joining in, that was the news. I was just letting everybody know about the new note that came out, which if you followed us about the whole scam that went on with this, it just confirms what we've already kind of talked about and figured happened, which was there was never anywhere near $1,000 paid for cash. Oh, I'm sorry. Usually guys go left, sorry. Yeah. Kind of like cars, guys. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Had some bikers go, I'm on your right, and they're supposed to go on the left, obviously, because there's another biker. That's why you don't go on the right, because where am I going to go? Then the guy got upset because I was like, I can't hop over to my left. That's weird. Whatever. Rookie bicyclist. Anyways. But, yeah, so, yeah, excuse me, I got a little distracted from that. So, yeah, well, that just confirmed that there was nowhere near the $1,200 that Skimask claims he paid to the bondsman to get him out, and is what he essentially fundraised a second. Hey, what are you doing? You guys share a bush till, okay, now you're giving him kisses? All right, that's okay. Dobie got all mad at Rio because he was sniffing the same bush. I don't know if you saw like a little lizard in there. But at least he gave him some kisses to say, I'm sorry. That was nice of you, Dobbs. Anyways, but yeah, so where I was going with this whole reason I brought this news up this morning was it just confirmed the fact that this was a scam. And as a matter of fact, the second time he scammed bond money, because he raised money almost between $600 to $800. The first time he thought he was going to jail, so... Hey, thanks, Dave. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. It is freaking awesome. I mean, for some of y'all that catch the walk and talks a lot, you're going to notice the difference right away. I mean, it's like night and day. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Like I said, I'm just barely learning how to kind of use it. I mean, it's fairly simple, and maybe I'm just a little gimbal illiterate. Oh, yay, they finally let the water down. So that means there must be water in the river. Hell yeah. I don't know if you guys remember last time we went down all the way to the river. And look at, for some of you guys that follow me on the same path, the pecan trees are starting to really bloom and get green. They're looking beautiful. But yeah, they had no water in the river, which is crazy. That's the Rio Grande. It's a huge river. It comes down from Colorado down to Mexico, okay? And which, they do it for, irrigation reasons. There's they got a big dam between the north and south part of the state. And so they'll block it every once in a while, but it's kind of crazy, when you see, especially when you're up north, like in Albuquerque, and you see how full the river is. Then you come down south and southern New Mexico, and there's no water in that same river, so it kind of freaks you out. But if there's water in that ditch, that means there's water in the river, so that's cool. That means we may do maybe we'll break... And see, now I'm afraid to break in the gimbal the way I really want to, which would be a cool rafting IRL stream. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't some crazy, Colorado River rapids like you see in the movies. This is just a very calm river at some points. And, you know, in some parts of New Mexico, it's a very wild river, like in Taos and Santa Fe. That's where they do the whitewater rafting. But southern New Mexico, the river gets pretty calm. But yeah, I'd love to either go up into Albuquerque, maybe even show you guys up in the more crazier rapids. But I'd be afraid of, one, damaging my phone and then damaging the gimbal, because it is not even close to being waterproof. I can tell you that. But we can certainly do a pretty chill, calm river float. That would be fun to test out the gimbal, as long as I'm careful. But yeah, again, for some of y'all that are just coming in or didn't hear me earlier, this is just our regular walk and talk. We're utilizing the gimbal this morning, but this is not considered my fun IRL stream that I promised everybody to do with the gimbal. I wanted to get kind of a little practice with it. So, hey, good morning, love. LOL, we all make little mistakes like that on trails, just like the bikers, the pups. Yeah, that's why I don't make it a big deal. Just kind of threw me off a bit. You know, it's, hey, we're here. It's a trail for everybody. Sharing is caring. It just seemed like they were just kind of confused when I said, I'm sorry. I was confused because I'm not used to going, you know, right, you go left. So I just wanted them to understand. That's why I didn't just, you know, jump right over. Plus, I also have 2 dogs. They got brakes. But anyways, like I said, it's no big deal. We live and learn, we move on, right? Well, it's a beautiful day here. I hope it's a beautiful day wherever you guys are at. Let's see here. See, what's kind of cool with this gimbal is it's got a lot of fun features on it, but a lot of them are, you got to connect it through Bluetooth. Now, obviously, when I have the speaker, because of the donation alerts on, I don't think I can connect, obviously, 2 Bluetooth devices. So that's the unfortunate thing, but it's not bad. Like right now, I don't really need to use any of the other features that would require me to use the Bluetooth on the gimbal. But boy, man, if you just do like vlogging, for example, not live streaming, holy moly, it's got so many cool little features on it that once you've set it up with the Bluetooth, it's insane. But even not setting up with Bluetooth, just the fact that the joystick works, oh man, that's all you need. Like I said, it does its own thing, but for some reason, if you just want to manually do something, just move the joystick. Like, watch. Do it right now. I'm going to go pan right. I can pan up, down. I can pan up. Pan to my left. Oops, sorry. Let me pan down. Pan to the left, down. Left. Get back with the dogs. Boom. And then if you want it just to kind of go back to where it's like in its reset mode, you just double click on the trigger. And boom, there we go. Yeah, this thing's crazy. I don't, you know what's weird is, I wonder if this is just what a lot of the other IRL streamers use, but I swear I don't see them with gimbals, but somehow they keep their shit smooth. So, hey, it doesn't matter. If it was just me not having a steady hand, whatever. I'm glad we got the gimbal to fix it, but I'm still just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it just takes practice, I guess, but yeah. Because, yeah, I would totally be, like I said, I would never want to take this out to, like, some, you know, crazy fucking, like, protest where I know I'm going to get fucking pepper sprayed or water bottles thrown at me. You know, shit like that. This gimbal would get effed up in a second. We are on some dirt trails, right? It's not, there's a dirt trail side, Gymnast Girl. But right now we're on the bicycle trail portion of it, or just walking portion. We've just crossed the death-defying train tracks, if you guys remember that story. I won't repeat it again. I know I've said it a few times. Whoops. Pick up what I dropped. All right, come on, Mr. Rio. All right, we're going to turn around once we get down here, and we're going to take our water break somewhere in the shade down here. Last time we went all the way down to the river, which was crazy. I didn't realize how far we had walked, and then we walked back. That was a good walk, but definitely pushed the 2 little guys that time. And it wasn't too hot at that time, but yeah, I was surprised they weren't that tired. I mean, they walked back like nothing. But yeah, had I known we had gone down that far, I definitely wouldn't have walked that far. Arson Andy uses one. Yeah, I'd figure that dude would have. He seems to, for being a homeless guy or whatever he claims, that guy seems to always got pictures on his Insta of him with some pretty expensive video gear all the time. So that's what just blows my mind. I don't know where these dudes get this fucking cash from. I mean, holy moly. That shit's expensive, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's really using it, or, I mean, is the guy, I don't know. But yeah, no, I've seen him. I think I saw him once. He showed a picture. He was at the Digi store, wherever he's at. And he had like, and you know, again, that could have just been a fake pic. You know, he just stacked up a bunch of boxes and said, hey, I'm going to take a picture really quick. Probably didn't even ask, just stacked them and took the picture. But let's just assume he didn't. I mean, there was probably easily, you know, $500 to $600 worth of just random gear. These are just accessories, Digi accessories. This wasn't even like any like real gear, just like, you know, battery pack cover, you know, $49.99, you know, shit like that. So, yeah, I guess we don't. Yeah, I didn't think about that. When you ain't got a damn bill, I guess you can't afford a bunch of shit like that. That's true. Hey, thanks, Freedom Believer. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Where it's the gimbal. That's the action of gimbal. And for some of you that are maybe wanting to get a gimbal and like the way this one is working, this one is the DJI something 4. I don't know if it's like OM4, but it's, if you just type in DJI 4 gimbal, it'll pop up. And I think they've got, the newest one is the 6, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what the differences are. I mean, honestly, I was really happy with the price of this gimbal, especially what it cost, you know, when it came out, you know, when it was the 4 and that was the current one. And obviously is doing everything I needed to do and more. So, yeah, I'm very happy with it. And right now, versus some of the other gimbals out there, it's priced very, I think, priced very fair. I guess our little buddy was on early this morning. I got a few Instagrams from some people saying that he was talking some crap about somebody's daughter, apparently. I started watching the VOD. I mean, and I guess I didn't catch that part, because the part I caught was he was just replaying the whole pretty much Sunny, you know, like I said, the dude's turned into, whether he thinks it or not, it's just go through all his fucking live streams, okay? I'm not even bullshitting. His channel has literally became a NJCourts replay channel. Even though I have all the VODs again for Replay Gang to watch, if you want to watch the replay but with Skimask as a commentator, hey, have at it. But yeah, when I was watching the early morning VOD, I guess, all I heard was just him literally just starting from the beginning to the end, which was funny because he must have thought we were going to talk about him right at the beginning. So he had to fucking listen through the whole Sunny interview and all that, the open panel portion. Then we got to the ski mask part, you know, which I don't know what he was thinking was going to happen. And he didn't even play the clip of you-know-who talking crap to him. He claimed that he hasn't watched that clip, even though as soon as he started his live stream, he was already talking shit about Chicken Andy. So, dude, I don't think that guy realizes one lie from another. And I'm talking like one lie he said 10 minutes prior to the one he says 10 minutes later. And good morning, Skiwi, if you're watching. Again, bro, you're a little you-know-what for not showing up to the interview. And you even seem kind of upset that you didn't show up because you seem to have some pretty decent questions. And I told you I was going to be willing to answer them. But hey, it's all right, man. You're not the, as much as you might think it, you're not the main attraction anymore to the NJCourts channel. Now, I'll give you this, you used to be. Oh, absolutely, especially when we started off as a clipping channel. Holy moly, you were the star of the show. But you're fading away like the old days again, Skiwi. But I'll tell you what, this court case coming up, that might save your channel. But remember, you're going to be hopefully serving 90 days here soon. So don't forget that. You might want to make sure you got a good managing mod taking care of your channel while you're tucked away with Tyrone and the boys. Scummy, let's see here. The interview is on the VOD, so if you missed the Lala interview or portion of it, it is on the VOD. Hell, as a matter of fact, if you want to hear it with the Skimask commentary, he was actually watching the interview through the, Lauren or Lala's portion. So you got two options. You can watch it through the NJCourts channel, or if you want to have a little of Skiwi's commentary, you can watch it through the NJCourts replay channel. And again, I do not, endorse Skimask or any of his channels. He is still a POS. All right, guys, we almost hit the last leg here, and we're turning around. The wind's kind of kicking up. That's nice, cooling down everybody. Woo! Yeah. Hey, Rio, no, leave it. Yeah. Oh, and I got some other news I'll tell you guys, since we're just shooting the shit. I am going to be getting a little bit more into this, and don't think I forgot. I know we have a lot of viewers that are very much interested in the Trina Golden court coverage. That is still a continued court coverage. As a matter of fact, for some of you that may have just joined us during this sunny coverage, we did start a Trina Golden court coverage. As a matter of fact, if you've seen the last which was her bond hearing, essentially, that was recorded by the NJCourts channel. So we were able to show that Zoom, essentially, court hearing. And what we were able to get from that hearing, or from the judge, was that her next hearing essentially is going to be sometime in July. And she will remain in jail unless she gets bonded out. And it was a very high bond, okay? I'm talking like, I think we figured she was going to have to come up with at least $15,000 to $20,000 cash money to even be near bonding out. But here's some news. And again, I have not verified this news. Maybe some of you in the chat can verify it. Maybe you already have. Maybe you know. But I've been told by some little birdies that there's a little bit more between this whole Trina Golden. I'm not going to say essentially the case right now, but definitely between the relationship between Trina Golden and Blade and Becky. For some of you that may not know who those two individuals are, Blade is obviously a live streamer. He's a old school live streamer. I would say right now he's pretty much part of the IP2 community, if you want to line him up with the community. He's pretty much one of these live streamers that does the old school, pay him to drink. You know, every shot is cost a certain amount of donation, and usually ends up with him just passing out and pissing or shitting himself. Pretty disgusting. This guy's a grown individual, supposedly a grown man, and this is what he does, essentially, I guess, as a living at this point. And I will say he seems to be making a small career out of it. It obviously somehow supports him and Becky. Becky is his current, I don't know if they were fiance at some point, but let's just call it girlfriend. She was, I essentially would say, a stream sniper who ended up, meeting Blade, as she kind of slept her way through some other content creators. We'll just put it at that. And again, if you want to find more information about these individuals, there's plenty of clip channels, plenty of rabbit holes you can go down. But according to this news I've heard, they're moving to Kansas, okay? Again, I have not verified this. But remember, who else is in Kansas? Trina, remember. Here's the other thing that's kind of strange is I've also been told that possibly I don't know if her bond's been reduced. I've even been told something about they may be even dropping the charges, which that didn't make any sense to me. All right, and I'm going to be doing a lot of verifying this week. I'm planning on my actual next court coverage live stream will be the continuance of the Trina Golden court coverage, but because there's a lot of information out now that just came out, but I need to verify it, obviously. But just kind of going with some of the little, like I said, the rumors I've heard. If this is true, let's just assume maybe they're even just lowering the bond, not necessarily dropping the charges, but just lowering the bond for whatever reason. These individuals think possibly that there's a relationship between Becky and Blade going down there to possibly assist her in bonding her out. They've even said something about they're going down there if she does get out to pretty much help her in her, I guess, rehabilitation or while she's, waiting for her hearing. Obviously that has to be passed with the courts. I don't know if they understand that, if that's true. The judge is the one that decides, where that individual stays while they're out on bond, especially with her type of criminal history and the fact that she runs. She was actually extradited, from California to Kansas. If she bonds out, I can assure you they're either going to have like an ankle monitoring bracelet on her. They're going to require to stay at some type of family member's house. But hey, who knows? Maybe they'll be able to work it out with those two. But again, these are just all allegations I'm hearing, but pretty interesting ones, okay? Because there was a lot of allegations between, the whole Blade, Becky, Trina, and some other substance abuses. Again, I'm not going to get into that. These are just allegations. But, it's just kind of, it obviously makes you scratch your head a bit, kind of funny as to what these two people who, clearly who I saw had a, not a super long relationship with this individual. And doesn't mean that they have to know this individual for years to want to help them and do all these things for them. But just kind of strange out of the blue that these two individuals, decide to move, I guess from, their current situation over to Kansas, supposedly. Again, this is supposedly. And again, supposedly to be near Trina for that reason. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but let me get the speaker back on. But first, what we need to verify is just the fact of, hey, did anything change with the court date? Is the court date still on? Did the bond change? Has she been bonded out? And that information's all accessible. It may be publicly accessible right on the internet. It may be stuff that I have to submit a FOIA request for. And it may be, I have to submit multiple requests for different departments for. But it is information that it can be accessible, even with it being an ongoing case now. I mean, that's public info for court dates and times and things like that and bond reduction. So, yeah, we'll get the straight story as to that. Everything else, again, those are just a lot of rumors and stories I've heard, but I'm definitely going to start paying more attention. That's for sure. And like I said, especially with chat, you guys know a lot. Okay. This chat consists of a lot of different people from a lot of different communities. And that's what I love about this chat, because we all can kind of come together like a big old potluck, and, man, I see a lot of interesting, stories come up. I've learned a lot from chat, whether it's, an allegation, whether it's the truth. But, we've learned a lot. We've had some interesting guests come through chat. So, see, PayPal me, good evening, or not good evening, good morning, afternoon now. I see with a Blade milking the degenerate viewers and didn't Alki Boone almost OD on Goldman's bad pills. Well, I saw that on live stream, the OD go on, but I was not aware of, where he, purchased those items from. The time that I watched, and obviously is the clip that you see all around YouTube, which is going to be the one, when, what's his face, gets up, thankfully, I guess you could say, probably one of the only reasons that Alki Boone is still alive, is, what's his face got up and then, alerted, well, I guess you kind of have to give it the tone too. So, geez, what a fucking mess that was. I'll tell you what, it was a sad, and you know, as much as it might seem kind of funny, it was a totally sad, fucked up situation, and somebody could have easily lost their life. But, yeah, I mean, it was just pretty much you know, if you're a religious person, a chance of, you know, faith, God, luck, whatever, miracle, that an individual was woken up and literally saw this person OD, and they were lucky they had another individual that knew pretty much how to, you know, apply or Narcan, I think is what they did, or at least know how to do like a chest rub, and maybe possibly save this individual's life. And they did end up living. They are alive, for some of you that may have not heard or saw the situation, so. But, yeah, I'm not aware of where that came from. But like I said, I mean, you got to remember, I've seen pictures come up of streamers together that, you know, you were like, what? You guys actually met? You know, there's a lot of shit that happens in the background, man, that, you know, us as viewers just have no clue. I mean, no clue. So, yeah, like I said, as of from right now, a lot of the stuff I'm hearing are a lot of allegations and stories, but, you know, just based on the history of a lot of these streamers and based on a lot of the shit I've seen, you know, it definitely, like I said, makes you scratch your head a bit. Good morning, Zen. I appreciate you joining. For some of y'all just joining in, we're on our Saturday morning walk and talk. And don't think I forgot our water break. We got a little bench coming up soon. This is where we take the water break. Yeah, I got Dobie here with me. Got Rio here next to me. And we're doing our Saturday morning walk and talk, which usually, you know, can be anything from just shooting the shit, having fun with everybody in chat, sometimes breaking some live news, sometimes breaking some really serious news. As far as today's day went, we just went ahead and covered some new information that came out in the Skimask Andy court case, which just, again, you know, I'm not going to get into it. We've already discussed it a few times, but for some of y'all just joining, you're more than welcome to rewind or catch the replay, but pretty much just verified some information that came out on the OSCN website a day or two ago that just further confirmed the fact that Skimask Andy effed over his last bit of viewers and donators and scammed this point, what, with this, let's just call it 800 the first time, 1200 the second, $2,000. And the fucked up thing is where the $2,000 go, man? This guy's already begging for money to pay his phone bill and I guess get him another month on the premium StreamYards. Which, you know what? This guy seems to blow all his money on the least important shit and never uses it for the important stuff. Like, wouldn't you think if all you're going to do is e-beg for the rest of your life, you'd want to have, you know, your shit ready, like having a good service plan, having a good phone, making sure your phone bill's paid for. I mean, that's your lifeline, right? No phone, no fucking streams, no cash apps, no weed and other substances, okay? So I don't know why that guy would leave that to like the last minute. And you know, sometimes he's just scamming and bullshitting, but I know for a fact he's had those days where he's literally just fucking pretty much scraped up, you know, enough little dollar cash apps to pay his phone bill. Otherwise it would have been shut off that night, you know, or the next day. But yeah, the guy doesn't, still with all the fundraisers he's had to fix his car, never fixed his car. You know, you have a lot of his viewers always complaining that he doesn't do any content or, oh, can you take us on a trip? And the guy's done the IRL trips before. You can't say he has not. But how are you going to do that with no vehicle? So it doesn't fix his ride. Oh, shit, they took out the bench. That's weird. Wonder why they did that. Well, it doesn't matter. We're still going to have our water break here, but no bench to put my little bum on. Anyways, yeah, I mean, the guy, you know, he could have fixed his car, already started an IRL stream going to Hollywood, and I'm sure he would have probably regenerated these fucking viewers of his, even the ones that are pissed and scammed right now, as just, you know, just the way they are with that whole cult mentality. They could have easily relapsed and be brought back into the cult if you just did some IRL, so... And, you know, we've also said the reason, even if he had his car fixed and had the ability to leave, We also have that, allegedly think he doesn't want to leave the house for a reason, which has to do with the fact he's domestically kidnapped his parents. Doesn't want them to have the opportunity to change the locks. Doesn't want them to have the opportunity or time to file for a temporary restraining order or have them evicted, through the court system. You follow me? So, again, there's always a little background story to all this shit. And I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why Skimask isn't leaving his house, because he used to. Don't think he not. That guy would love to get some fucking tan on that face. The guy looks like a fucking vampire. And he pretty much acts like one, you know what I mean? Guy sleeps during the day and is up all night long, right? Only time he leaves his house is at night. I'm not kidding you, man. For some of y'all that believe in witches, wolves, and vampires, I definitely put him up as a candidate in that fucking realm. All right, guys, let me get your little bag here. Excuse me, y'all. I'm just going to get some water for these guys. They are thirsty, I can tell. Yeah, I know. We're taking our water break. We're almost, halfway back. So not too far of a walk back. And these guys are going to have a little snack and a siesta. Oh, wait, hold on. That was my bottle. Let me get your guys' your bottle. You got a lot more water in your bottle. Ugh. Here we go. Yeah, got the 32 ounce for you guys. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Gymnast Girl says he first has to learn how to take a battery out. Yeah, honestly, Gymnast Girl, you know what? As much stuff as he complains about, and I hate to even say this, that's probably all that motherfucker needs is just to put a brand new battery in that car and it probably will run. But who knows? He says something's going on with the starter, but you think that guy's a mechanic? Come on, he's probably just watched a few YouTube videos, Google searched, my car doesn't start, and, it's just blamed it on everything that's popped up without even really knowing what's going on. He supposedly scammed some money a while back. Remember that he says he, was enough money to get his car for diagnostics, and he had some wild ass story as to what the mechanic said was wrong. I mean, come on, Ski, you think you're gonna fool us trying to tell us what a BS story? Trying to essentially be a mechanic or make yourself sound like one. Yeah, that didn't work out too good. I have 3 Goldens. Oh, wow. Goldens are beautiful dogs. That must be awesome when you walk all 3 of them at the same time. Get a lot of looks with those 3 beautiful dogs. And thanks, Jersey, for posting all the donation links. I know this isn't considered a court coverage show, but hey, any donations are much appreciated. And just because we're not doing court coverage or I don't have a dono goal up there, every single donation that we do receive, whether it's on a walk and talk, just a chit chat, whatever. Just like the other day when I was doing my lunch break in the car, all donations go right back to the channel. And in this case, they're going to towards the Control of Court Coverage fundraiser, which we're going to hit. I can tell you that. But to give you an idea, I probably think we're probably like $75 away or less, definitely. So, and don't forget, we also hit last week the Skimask fundraiser. So thank you for everybody that donated to that. That's going to allow us to go down to Tulsa to provide as much court coverage as we can of the Skimask court hearing on June the 20th. Controla's hearing is right now up to date is up in the air as far as her date. If I'm not mistaken on dates, the judge did say that her case will go in front of the grand jury, I believe, on the 25th of this month. And then after that, depending on what the results are, what happens from that hearing, that's when the new date, let's just say it does go to a jury trial, that's when that date will be set. So we figured, just based on kind of, the history of a lot of the other court dates we've dealt with, I think we're saying probably late June, possibly early July, maybe it could be even in August, who knows, but definitely it's going to be a late summer court date, I can tell you that. So we've got plenty of time, obviously, to hit that dono, but the sooner the better, because obviously the big expense for all these court coverages are always the airfare, and the earlier I can get the ticket, the way less expensive it is. So I'm pretty sure we'll hit this dono goal soon. Give us plenty of time to get that ticket, and I'll get ready for both those court coverages coming up here very soon. And then depending on what's going on with Sonny's got the court hearing. I think it was in July. Trina's got a hearing in July or August. That could have changed. So, there could possibly even be a NJCourts road tour. It's in the air. I'm not putting any promises. But I do have the ability with my NJCourts mobile IRL streaming van, a.k.a. the cargo van with the bed in the back, to possibly make some of these court hearings, especially since, Kansas and Texas aren't too far away. I could do something like that, like a road tour for the, Sunny IRL court hearing and the Trina Golden court hearing. So, yeah. I'll definitely be interested or check into that. But, yeah, I mean, if everything goes the way it's supposed to, we're looking at easily reporting on minimum of 2 court coverages coming up, but possibly 3 or 4. So, and we've already started the coverage. What I mean by court coverage is actually having the real court coverage, being just like you saw with the controller case, just like you saw with the Gimble case. So, all right, so let's see here. Let's get going here. Guys, you got enough water? Come on, finish this up. You want some more water, little Dobbs? Oh, Rio does. Get it. Here, I'm holding it for you. All right. Dobbs, you want some more water, bubs? I'll put that there. I'm going to get my bag all set up, and we're going to start making our way back. Gymnast Girl says, it was running fine day before. Way it clicked, it's the battery. I said, damn, AutoZone will charge and check sales. Hell, I'm 60 and took mine out. Check, bought another and put it in. Hey, there you go. Congrats. I mean, I remember when I went through driver's ed, that was one of the things we had to learn was how to change a tire, basic maintenance of a vehicle, put a new battery in, stuff you would possibly do if you're doing like a roadside type of, assistance deal, and obviously when you didn't have roadside assistance. But, yeah, I mean, it's, and even the fact that you can go on Google, or not Google, just YouTube and see a simple universal video about how to take a battery out. It's just laziness. I mean, the guy literally just can't even take 15 minutes to go out there, pop the hood open, figure out what tools he needs, go get the tools and take out the fucking battery, man. I mean, holy moly. And that's, like I said, that's what I think is hilarious when you hear these little fucking last of his cult members trying to, invite him over to stay at their place, okay? That guy can't even change a battery out, okay? You think he's capable of even being a social member of public, like actually showing up to your house and, inviting himself inside and being polite and, hey, here's $10 for some food bills, or for the next few. No, fuck no. That guy's just going to ask you what the Wi-Fi password is and start complaining if his shit starts buffering and ask you how much money you have to give to him, That's what he does. And that's obviously going to piss off that individual, right? So then what happens? They kick him out, they get in a fight, and there you go. So, yeah, GTFO on that one for sure. Hey, congrats, Scum. I used to know how to build a basic computer back in the days, when we used to have a modem. And I mean, I don't think much has changed, especially because, a lot of people are going back to the big old gaming setups, with just a bunch of memory and badass video cards and shit like that. But yeah, it's cool when you know how to do that stuff, because you can definitely build yourself a fun gaming PC if you're into that and save a lot of money. Jersey says, I don't think he was ever taught any life skills, but God forbid he watched a YouTube tutorial. I know. I mean, geez, you'd figure with as much time the guy's on YouTube, he could at least start learning a little bit on how to, live life off of some tutorials. I'm sure if you YouTube, life coach, you'll find some interesting tutorials. But, yeah, it's just why, right, Jersey? That even is just a part of his laziness. That takes some time. And it's obviously something he really doesn't want to hear about, right? He's a narcissist. You think he wants to listen to somebody trying to tell him how to change his way? But unfortunately, that's what's hurting him, hurting the guy right now. That's what's putting him in every fucking situation he's in. He can sit there and blame everybody, right? And that's what he does. He blames this person, blames that person, blames his brother, blames the police, blames the court system, blames me, blames, fuck that. He just needs to realize the only reason he's in any of these situations is because of himself and his actions. And because, like we said before, and you guys brought up, he's just surrounding himself with a bunch of these yes people and cheerleaders. There's nobody there to say, hey, man, especially when he gets real nasty. That's the scary shit. I mean, when that guy gets vile and nasty as shit, okay? I mean, yeah, maybe some of those people are just quiet. I give them that. But I've seen plenty of times where the really vile ones, the Liz Lees, the Elizabeth, Kelly, depending on what, how intoxicated she is, they'll get on there and they'll hoorah that, like, yeah, you just doxed a kid, hell yeah, Ski, and that shit's gross. Like I said, it's sick because these people probably have children, and again, maybe they're a fucking teacher. Could you imagine that? Hell no. So, yeah, it's but yeah, if he's surrounded like that with people and has no accountability for anything, he's never gonna change. Never. And I know that motherfucker's got to look himself in the mirror once in a while when he takes his once a week shower and has to at least say, you know what, I'm tired of this shit, man. Like, seriously. But maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe he just looks at himself that once a week and, just kisses a little kiss to himself in the mirror and, yeah, Ski, you're looking good. Here we go, man. Who knows? I guess some people just can't change, right? That's why they put a cereal in front of that, whatever it is, cereal this, cereal that. Guy's a serial narcissist. He's a serial liar. Yeah. Oh, man, that guy would get his ass whooped trying to do some hard labor, man. Could you imagine him working like at a construction site or something? That dude would get his ass whooped in an hour. Just because you can see that he wouldn't listen to anything. Even not having a fucking clue about anything, he still wouldn't listen to anybody. And minute he starts giving the site guy, or I forgot their name. Man, they got, not like a site manager, they got like the site boss. They got a name to it. Oh, man, damn it. I hate when I forget those names because then it makes me think about it all day. But, yeah, man, they would kick him right. They'd fire his ass right there and kick him right off the job site. But, yeah, I'd love to see that guy just, like, actually try sweating out in the sun for more than an hour. He was complaining, I think, this morning about he had to walk like a mile or so last night to go get his blunt wraps at 2 a.m. I mean, that guy must be hurting for cash because, I mean, think about this. Especially because he doesn't have a car. Wouldn't you figure if you're fucking smoking like, 6 to 8 blunts a day? I mean, probably more. Why wouldn't you just buy a box of blunts? I mean, order that shit. Just walk into the store and buy one. But one, you save some money. Obviously, with the guy, he's such a lazy piece of shit. He'd save a hell's of time. I mean, that box would probably last him a few days. Let's just say 3 days, right? If he's lucky. Probably 2, to be honest with you. But that would be literally 3 days of you not having to make like 3 or 4, however many fucking trips you do a day just to get a blunt wrap. And you know what that tells me, right? A foreman. Thank you, Tom. Fucking thank you so much. That was going to drive me crazy. And thank you, Scum A. And if anybody else mentioned that earlier and I didn't catch that, thank you. But holy moly. I mean, the only thing I can think of is why somebody would do that and just not be smart about that is just the fact that he's literally just scraping up $1 every time, $1 and some change, whatever it cost, to get his blunt. And once he does that, he's got to go walk and get it. And then that's it. He buys one blunt, maybe two, comes back to mommy and daddy's, rolls them up, you know, prays he gets a couple of cash apps, you know, $2, $3 in cash apps for the 4 hours he's on. Then he can go back and run and get, you know, 2 or 3 more blunt wraps and just repeat. Yeah, and it's still pretty interesting about his whole weed supply thing, man. He still almost got me a little fooled on that. I mean, it's not that big of a fucking deal, and it's not like it's some mystery, but it seems like sometimes he either gets his shit from just the, you know, the weed man down the road, if you know what I mean, or sometimes it looks like, you know, he's got like a bag, or, you know, the packaging is from like an actual dispensary, which, you know, Skimask has said it himself. He doesn't have a medical card. And in the state of Oklahoma, they don't have recreational marijuana. As a matter of fact, I think they just had a vote to see if they were going to pass the recreational side of it not too long ago, and they voted no. So I don't know when they're going to have the next opportunity, but that was just recently. It's probably not going to be anytime soon. So, yeah, I don't understand if he's gotten, you know, I figured the first few times he had some type, you know, a contact or a friend that, you know, would just sell out the back door. But I remember he mentioned not too long ago that he lost that contact. So who knows? Probably just getting it out the back door. And you know what else he does? And I've called him out on this, and he did say he's done it. I thought he was kidding, but now I believe it. Is, you know, he's claimed that he's had a walk or, you know, take an Uber to these fucking places, and I guess essentially just sit outside the dispensary, you know, and beg people, you know, as they're walking in, you know, if they can get him whatever, you know. And I'm sure it's hard with him, man. I would hope he's gonna at least, you know, say, hey, here's $20 to keep for yourself. But I could see his fucking Skiwi just be like, hey, man, all I got's $40, and they sell half ounces of the shake for $39.99. It comes out to $40.05 with the taxes. So do you think you can front me like 7 cents? But if you could, I'd like to get a half a zip of some shake, please. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty interesting, but I will say it is pretty funny to see when the guy starts freaking out, going through his little low weed alerts. I mean, he was freaking out after he had a brand new 8 the other day. I told him even on, that was the panel that I guess he said he privatized the VOD. I don't know why. I don't know if he said some other bad shit after I went up on his little panel for a bit. But yeah, and for some of you that didn't know, there was a second time I actually just confirmed that he was going to come on the show. And he pretty much gave me like a 98% yes. And I have a feeling that's why he took down that VOD, because he obviously doesn't want me using it. And it didn't matter, dude. It was like I was going to hold you to it. I mean, come on now. You don't think you could fucking give me a Scout's honor, and I'd still know you're going to probably end up fucking me in the back. So, but either who, I forgot where I was going with that. See, that happens a lot. I think the heat's getting to me, guys. Oh my gosh. No, I'm just kidding. And you know what's, oh yeah, no, we were talking about, you know, where he gets his little ganjita from in the low weed alert. Oh yeah, that's where I was going with. Yeah, he had an 8th. And I was telling him on his panel, I'm like, dude, if I had that, that would probably last me like maybe 4 or 5 days, you know, easy. And he's already complaining. He just got the 8th, and he's literally like already putting out the low weed alert, you know, like freaking out. And I'm like, well, I guess if you're just going to roll that whole 8th into like one blunt, sure. But shit. See, we got Taylor Bean says, in my opinion, he has plenty of money. He's just been saying to get a new car. He's gotten hundreds of dollars for the year, and then bail that he didn't use because he was bonded out. Yeah, I mean, he is a scammer. You know, I mean, he obviously would never tell us the truth on that. And, I mean, it makes sense, right? The guy always seems to have enough money to buy his you-know-what every time. And he did always, you know, he did scam a lot of money. You have to wonder where it went. You'd hope it went into account at least, but who knows? I mean, it is hard to tell. Show you the little pups here. They're doing good. We're almost done with the walk too, so thank you guys for joining. I had a lot of fun hanging out with chat today. Whew. And I hope you guys enjoy the gimbal. I hope for you guys that have caught the, you know, a lot of the other walking talks or just even my IRL streams, that you noticed a major difference. So again, I want to thank very much Subaru for everybody that helped donate and fundraise for the gimbal, because it is very, very much appreciated and will be put to very much use, a lot of use. Whoa, Dobster, check this out. I'm glad you're such a good dog. His leash slipped out of my hand. I was like, hold on, something feels kind of light here. All right, let me loop your leashes through my other hand. Yeah, like, see, for example, like if I'm gonna say bye to everybody, and I'll put it in selfie mode when I do, but like if I had the Bluetooth on right now on the phone, hold on. Okay, my bad. If, for example, I had the gimbal, so if some of you are interested in the gimbal, one of the cool features is when you have it connected to the phone through Bluetooth with the little trigger that it has on the joystick, if you hit the trigger 3 times, that's what clicks you in and out of your selfie, or, you know, the camera that faces you, selfie camera, back to the outside camera. It's got like a zoom in and out feature on the side of the joystick, so you can zoom in and out manually, you know, with your finger. You don't have to, you know, do that whole sliding thing on the camera. Yeah, it's real cool. And even like I said, if I'm not going to hook it up to the Bluetooth as far as phone and the gimbal, you can still probably use about 80% of the features the gimbal has, and those are like the most important of the features. And you're still able to hook up, you know, obviously your Bluetooth to your speaker if you're running like a TTS setup. It's doing all right. How you doing, Dobster? Yeah, we're almost there. Rio, doing all right? Yeah, good boy. Hey, good morning or good afternoon now, Mikey size 4. Welcome and thank you for joining. It's a beautiful Saturday, or wait, Saturday. I keep thinking it's Sunday. Heck yeah, got one more day in the weekend to enjoy. And I do have some of my own in real life stuff chores to do this weekend, but I'm going to try my best to knock them all out today. That way, possibly I can bring you tomorrow a real fun IRL stream. Again, I was just trying to get some practice, so I said, let's do, well, you know, with the new news that I learned of this morning, I said, hey, what a better way to, you know, throw some new news out there in regards to the Skimask court coverage, bring the dogs on a nice walk, and also test out the gimbal for the first time. So it worked out perfect. I'm sorry, let me get out of your way here. Thank you. Come here, dogs. And yeah, I think I've got enough practice. Like I said, I'm obviously not even probably moderately experienced with the gimbal yet, but I think we've got enough experience to get us going. Man, this is always such a fucked up part. I don't know why these cars can't really just slow down for pedestrians, but all right, here we go. They need to put a crosswalk over here. But yeah, thank you guys. Oh, and one other thing. Hey, thank you for reminding me about subscriptions, and thank you, Jersey, for again, if you guys have not subscribed and you like the channel, I really appreciate it. As a matter of fact, as of last night, and you know, again, it can always go down, but I think we're official. Last night, we just hit the 3,400 subscribership count. So thank you guys. That's freaking awesome. We just literally celebrated on Cinco de Mayo, our 3K celebration. We're almost going to hit a 3,500 subscribership milestone on the way to hopefully 4,000. Mikey size 4, right? So I'm located in a few different places because of my work. So I was in Albuquerque just a few days ago. Usually from there I'll go down to Phoenix, but I'm done with all my contracts there for the rest of the year. And let's see here. Right now I'm visiting in Las Cruces, and I also live out on the East. I call it the East Coast, but let's just call it the Mideast area. So yeah. And I don't reside necessarily in those places. I just travel through. So. hey, thanks, Scummy. I appreciate it. And thank you, Miranda. I appreciate everybody congratulating. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. And like I said, hey, check out this guy. He's a beautiful big dog. What's up, big guy? Oh, you're such a big, beautiful dog. He didn't like the gimbal. All right, I won't bug you. I don't want to stress him out. But, yeah, I mean, the reason I get excited about the subscriber count going up is because, like I said, with this channel exposing a lot of bad people and a lot of these, you know, court coverages, you know, the more people we can get, and I know you guys have heard me say this, so I'm not going to, you know, repeat myself in a 10-minute story. Just take a few seconds. But, you know, the more people essentially that are subscribed, that are exposed, that, you know, see this stuff, you know, the more we can get this information out. And I truthfully believe it's helped already. I think a lot of people have opened their eyes. We've had a lot of people, I know for a fact, I'm not going to name names, but a lot of people that have at once been part of such cults at this point. Some of these individuals are running and have literally okay? He hides it, all right? It's like the devil in disguise, all right? Being said, and since we're in the shade, I want everybody to say bye. Rio, say bye to everybody. He's like, get me home. Dobie, you want to say bye? I was like, get me home. But let me flip this over to me so I can say bye to everybody. See, it's not a robot. It's really me. I promise. But I want to say, golly, I got a sunburn today. Woo! Anyways, I want to say thank you again, everybody, for joining in on this Saturday morning walk and talk. I appreciate everybody's support from the last week, the last month, since the beginning of this channel. As always, thank you for all the mods being here today. Thank you for all the mods last night. We had an awesome show, so I appreciate your help. I want to say thank you to all the jury members, of course, and welcome to all the new jury members. I hope you enjoy, you know, slamming and spamming all those fun emojis. There's a lot of stuff to check out on the membership tab if you already haven't, and there's a lot more to come. I promise you that. So thank you all current members of the jury, and welcome to all the new members of the jury. And as most importantly, I want to thank everybody. Even if you're just a viewer, okay? Even if you're just a troll. Even if all you do is just comment and that's it, or you just watch from the bleachers. It doesn't matter. I appreciate you being here because at least your eyes are being open and exposed to some of this, whether you might agree with it or not. And that's all we need, is just a little exposure to at least start a conversation, right? That's all I ask for. So with that being said, I wish everybody a happy Saturday. Like I said, I'm going to try my best to get my shit done, and hopefully I can bring a really fun and awesome IRL stream to you guys tomorrow. Oops, let me pan up. But worst case, we will continue our court coverage midweek, and we will still be having a fun IRL stream coming if it doesn't happen tomorrow. So with that being said, again, thank you for everybody that helped with the dono goal today. By the next live stream, I will definitely have exactly where we're at. I'm pretty sure we're like just a smidget to hitting it. So Thank you much again, everybody. And you all have a great Saturday. Love everybody. And again, I want the dogs to say bye to guys because they love you guys. Hey, say bye to everybody, Rio. Bye, Rio. Dobbers. Dobbs just hanging out, chilling. All right, you guys, have a great day, and we'll see you later. Peace. NJCourts. Oh!